Today we have major updates of the situation in Maui with the wildfires and the devastation that has happened there. And we're also going to look at why are people still missing. Let's get into it. The following report comes to us from the Intelligencer, and they say that the Maui Fire's human toll is already horrific. 115 people have been confirmed dead after a rapidly moving blaze swept across the west side of the Hawaiian island earlier this month, making it the deadliest wildfire in the United States in over a century. No one has ever seen this that is alive today, Maui Police Chief John Pelletier said at a news conference Wednesday. Not this size, not this number, not this volume, and we're not done. Officials expect that the number of dead will rise as rescue teams, including dogs, continue to search the destroyed town of Lahaina and other areas ravaged by the fire. But thankfully, the number of missing is starting to come down. On August 24th, authorities released a list of 388 people and have accounted for many of those names on the tally. But that's not all that's happening in Maui. The number of missing people has been going up and down on a daily basis. On September 1st, Governor Josh Green said that he expected the next vetted list of missing people would drop from down into the double digits. And then he said, so thank God. But the next day, the FBI announced that there were still 385 people who were unaccounted for. While authorities were able to remove 245 people from the list of 388, almost the same number was added by the Red Cross and individuals looking for their loved ones. By September 5th, officials whittled down the list slightly to 365. And on September 4th, the governor said that the search for victims on land is complete, and now there is a search going on in the ocean. With the search of the scorched town of Lahaina at 99% complete, the FBI teams are now looking 200 yards into the harbor where many residents fled to escape the flames and smoke when the fire tore through the town. Governor Josh Green said that the teams are not expected to find substantial numbers of new victims in the water, saying, "We will find possibly the remains of some individuals on the boats that were out there. There are a couple of other sensitive spots that were underwater that had to be investigated, but we're not anticipating a significant increase." Green added that he does not expect the death toll to rise much further, suggesting that the hundreds of those unaccounted for will be tracked down. So whose fault is the fire? Where did this devastation originate? In the latest update, the utility company that we believe is complicit in the fire has denied any and all fault. Last week, Maui County filed a lawsuit against Hawaiian Electric, alleging that the utility company's lack of action directly resulted in the deadly fires. Specifically, the county claims the company failed to power down their electrical equipment on August 7th despite a National Weather Service warning, adding that their energized and down power lines ignited dry fuel such as grass and brush, causing the fires. Maui County also claims that the Hawaiian Electric failed to maintain the power grid and electrical system, which resulted in several fires on August 8th. Hawaiian Electric pushed back against the lawsuit on Sunday, writing in a statement that the cause of the second wildfire has not been determined. The company maintains that the power lines in Lahaina were not energized for more than 6 hours by the time the second wildfire broke out on August 8th. The CEO of Hawaiian Electric, Shali Kimura, said, "We are surprised and disappointed that the County of Maui rushed to court even before completing its own investigation. We believe the complaint is factually and legally irresponsible." In the meantime, there's even more fluctuation in the missing people numbers. Some reports have even suggested that over 2,000 students and children are missing, and we know of course now that that is not actually true. They just haven't all reported back to school yet. The numbers of missing people has fluctuated since the fires destroyed the town of Lahaina in early August. As of Monday, the number of missing people was 850, then shot up to 1,100 as the FBI vetted its database of missing people to contact and mark safe. That number fell again as efforts to contact those missing people expanded. On Friday last week, Maui County released a list of 388 people who were still missing. The vetted list helped bring the number of missing further down, with several people on there wondering why they were marked as unaccounted for when they had reported themselves safe to the FBI or to FEMA. Roughly 100 of those 388 people have been tentatively marked as safe. But the list of the 388 people also includes the names of the missing so that the family can either mark their loved ones as safe or inform officials that they are still unaccounted for. We know that it will help with the investigation, Police Chief John Pelletier said in a statement. We also know that once those names come out, it can and will cause pain for folks whose loved ones are listed. This is not an easy thing to do, but we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to make this investigation as complete and thorough as possible. The search effort on Maui remains an extremely difficult effort. Several names on the missing list are just first names, and others do not have identifying information like gender or age. With the search of single-story buildings in Lahaina complete, recovery teams are now focusing on multi-story buildings that collapsed in the blaze. We know there are going to be tragedies in the buildings that haven't been searched, Governor Josh Green told Hawaii News Now. Green estimated that the search would take 1 to 2 more weeks. Due to the intensity of the blaze, identifying remains is a tremendous challenge. Officials have encouraged those with missing loved ones to submit DNA to a database to help identify victims whose partial remains have been recovered. A little over 40 of the victims have been identified so far. Realistically, we're going to have a number of confirmed. We're going to have a number of presumed, Maui Police Chief John Pelliter said at a press conference on Tuesday. Pelliter compared the challenge of finding human remains to the September 11th attacks. 2,000 people on 9/11 were not recovered, he said. We have an entire town that was destroyed. If you would like to financially support Maui in any way, I would suggest that you go to mauiisstrong.info. There are multiple ways that you could aid them. You could aid their food banks. You could also donate to Maui United Way Maui Fire and Disaster Relief Donation, the Hawaii Community Foundation Maui Strong Fund, Keiko's Maui Fund, the American Red Cross Wildfire Response in Hawaii, the County of Maui Volunteer Center, and the Maui Food Bank Food Collection and Distribution. I pray that the good Lord brings peace to the people in Maui and gives them the supernatural comfort that only He can provide. All that in Jesus' name. See you on the next one, guys.